go. Alright, I'm here with Zanet, and this time we'll take a look at one of my replays. And this will be from a YouTube recording or a live recording, so we can see the chat and my exact perspective. And I'm on 6, 5, 4, 3 right now. Is that about right with you?
Yeah, you've just taken the rune right now.
That's good. So this is basically it's a morph game where I was against Wind Ranger mid and I was struggling a bit. So this is basically I want you to, give me as much feedback as possible or tell me as many mistakes that you think I made.
I think you should have done this exact move back at the fountain instead of now.
Yeah, that's
more finished.
That's very common, but what I'm afraid of is that there will be a fight at the rune. So I want to keep that that skill point.
The thing is, if there really is that such fight, it's really hard for them to take you down, since you still have all the strength to morph, and you really have a lot of HP then.
Yeah.
And they can't really burst you, right?
I actually think that the level 1 morph is so slow that sometimes you can actually die before you get to morph at all.
I don't know. I think you should be able to. I think it's worth it to go for the to use the morph as fast as the game. I mean, as soon as the game starts.
I think maybe when I'm mid, I probably it's kind of
at least for the mid lane.
Yeah,
at least for the mid lane, I think you should.
It would be. I guess it would be nice to have more mana right now.
It's if you look at it, it's a whole waveform what you used.
Yeah, I
of
guess.
Mana.
So, do you see anything in this laning stage where I could have better positioning or something maybe where you would have waveformed and harassed or?
Well, the thing is, since you have already used so much mana, you can't really be aggressive with the waveform, right?
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. What you should be what you should try when you're playing Morphin is to get like 2 or 3 creeps and hit the hero with a waveform.
Yeah.
And preferably keep hitting the hero afterwards.
Yeah.
That's like the ideal scenario you're looking for to create every time you're playing the mid lane.
So it's kind of like Puck where you try to get 2 or 3 creeps low so you can waveform and at the same time then hit them.
Yeah, it's the same. It's exactly the same, to be honest.
I had this Earthshaker. I had him quickly muted, and this Earthshaker was very tilted. He I think he's 5.9k or something. And I wanted safe lane, but then Slag took it. So I placed mid and asked if I could have mid, and then he said, okay, fine, you can have it. And then
he's already mad then.
Yeah, he started flaming me because I didn't have bottle, and he thought I had bottle, so he TP'd mid. When I went back and I TP'd mid, then he was standing at tower expecting me to bottle him, and when I didn't do it, he just started to ping me a lot, and finally I unmuted him, and then he was like, why didn't you bottle me? And I said, I don't have a bottle, and he was like, what the fuck? So yeah, that was, I think if I had started to discuss with him, we would have pretty much lost the game outright there.
Yeah, it's what we talked about the last game. You need to ignore them. Let them think they're right. Well, sometimes they might be, but even if they are not, just let them think they're right.
And at this point, Slag was sending Courier top with 1 Iron Branch. So yeah, I sent Courier back there. I hadn't reached the tier 2 yet. That was just I saw him that he had 1 Iron Branch on the Courier, and I was just thinking, what the fuck is going on? But anyways, Lion and Earthshaker actually rotated a lot mid to try to help me. And I think I did everything I could because I kept the creep wave equilibrium at my high ground. And maybe I could have harassed Windrunner more. But when they came, sometimes Earthshaker would just miss his fissure, or he would fissure way too early, and that was very weird.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they created a little bit of space for you, which is nice. because it's a hard matchup.
But for me, I think these heroes are pretty good to be against. The only thing I'm kind of afraid of is Beastmaster but then again not because I was thinking about
You can still morph.
and you will have your Lincoln, so I think Beastmaster counters most carry heroes, but Morph not that much.
The only really good thing he has against you is Necros, because they really burn your mana fast. And it's really mana burn is really strong against Morphling. It's insane.
That's one of the reasons why Anti-Mage is just so annoying to play against. So actually what I do here is that I buy wards and I place a ward in the jungle. Wait a second, I need to close my window. Okay, so I buy a ward and I ward the jungle, and this guy is AFK jungle. I really don't know what he's doing.
What the fuck?
And he's 6.3k online. I have no idea what he was.
I think you the play you just made is very risky.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get the Ursa, you've wasted so much time, like so much farming time and creeps, as well as XP. I don't know.
The reason
it actually worked out.
The reason I went to jungle was just to place a ward there, because I want to know whether or not Ursa is farming the neutrals or if he's going for Roche. So if I play against Ursa and my supports don't ward the jungle, maybe I'll ask for a ward, and if not, I will. Yeah, I will just buy a ward myself and ward it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the play is very good, but I think you should have told them, like Lion or Earthshaker to do it.
But it's also, when your team is already so tilted and so flaming, I don't want to. I usually just do it myself. And I think it creates a lot of goodwill when you are mid player and you buy a ward. So yeah.
Yeah. I usually do that, but I'm more greedy. I buy the wards for myself and I place them mid.
I think it's actually okay for. I think wards are so cheap now that anybody can buy it. Actually, it's of course you want the supports to buy it, but both Earthshaker and Lion actually got pretty quick blink, which helped us a lot. So that was pretty nice. But I had a rough game. But for me, it's just sometimes it's just to start saying, okay, go in the jungle, and also it's less risky for me to go in the jungle than Lion. If Lion meets Lich or whatever or Ursa, he might very easily die, while for me it's kind of easier to survive with waveform.
I guess, but he probably doesn't have a slow, right? Since he's jungling, they should be fine, I guess.
So at this point, I'm really lacking a bottle in terms of mana. But as soon as I get Aquila and get the Perseverance, then I will be fine again. But I remember at this point thinking that, maybe I should have a bottle.
Yeah, I think it would have paid off in this game. Like, there are so many things you can do with it. Like, for example, right now you could have. I mean, maybe it would have worked because the Wind Ranger took the top rune, but like, you perhaps could have made replicate of the Wind Ranger, sent a Hair Illusion to one rune, and you get the other one with your hero, then you replicate it to the illusion.
That's actually, I saw you do that in the last week, but that's actually a really good idea. I haven't thought about that either. That's, I think my main concern with just bottle is that it used to heal a lot more, so when you got it, you would be fine in terms of healing. I just watched this. I think Earthshaker, Nyx is going to miss them, but this is a hard stun to land, so this is...
The only thing, what I would have done different from you here is that when I saw the Nyx coming in, I would have morphed some strength into agility.
Yeah. I think I will probably start running out. I would probably take 600 HP right now, after I've talked with you.
Yeah, definitely. I think there is no real reason for you to be so high HP right now, especially since you have the ring and a salve. Like, I think you could play much lower.
So what I'm doing with my replicates is basically putting them in Roche every time I got a replicator.
Yeah, I actually did that against you when you played Ursa.
Yeah.
I remember making replicate every single time. I was playing safe lane at that time,
Yeah.
and I sent the replicate to Roshan every single fucking time.
That was so. So what happened was that I started playing a lot of jungle Ursa, and then I decided to make a guide, and I thought, well, of course it's risky to make a guide because some tryhards might watch my videos and then counter me. And so what happened is that I met Sanet in one of the pub games after I had made my guide, and Sanet had watched my guide, and so I picked Ursa, and Sanet just knew exactly what to do. So first he told his Pudge and his team just to go harass me, and then when it was, what was it, 4:30, you knew exactly I was going Roche, so you sent another hero there, and you guys kept up sending replicas to it, and that was probably the worst Ursa game I've ever had.
I'm not sure, I think I remember my team saying, like, good calls Morphlin or something like that.
Well done, Sanet. You have watched Slahser's YouTube. How to defeat Slahser in one step. Watch his YouTube videos. But that was actually funny.
Those are next level tricks.
Yeah, that was actually funny. When I did my first guide ever, there was a Furion guide. I actually thought about not doing guides because I was kind of afraid, to give away my secrets. But then I was like, well, it's fine, And usually
it's for the greater good.
Yeah, the greater good. And here again.
Oh, you could have blocked him there.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you had waited for him, it could have been.
That's true. If I had written quickly enough. But what I think, so that was a misplay by me. Or I could have made that better. But what I think was really a misplay was that Earthshaker did it so early. He didn't need to Fissure so early. Maybe he tried to block both, then it would actually have been a huge play, I guess. But he Fissured so early that Lion couldn't.
The thing is, like, I mean, his play could have worked, but the thing is, he missed. He wanted to block him, right?
Yeah.
But he missed. It was a little bit short.
Yeah, I guess it was unlucky.
I mean, you could. Yeah, what I was saying is that you could have tried to fix his play, but
yeah.
I mean, it was hard.
And I think if I had my microphone there, I might actually, have said something like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And it was actually like a fine play when I look at it back again. I actually denied the experience room because I thought we wouldn't get it. And that was a nice play.
I think I'm so greedy. I think I would have replicated into the illusion and went like the other way of the river, but it would have been risky though.
So they
just still have waveforms, so
they 5-man there and they win the fight, and I'm just typing on map telling Slag to go there. And Slag actually ended up carrying me this game. Like, I did fine, but Slag ended up really carrying me. And how he did it was that he did some extremely risky plays that played off, and in the end he had like a huge impact. But I actually really didn't like how he played, because if any of those plays had messed up, it would have set us back so much, and I think we could have played it much safer, but we will look at that later.
Okay, that sounds interesting. On the other hand, this is a game in which I would definitely get Lincolns instead of Manta.
Yes.
Because they don't even have something that is good to get rid of it, right? They don't have like Zeus first spell or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, Lincoln's really good here.
This is the
Morph, can you just farm your mid player?
What the fuck? This is definitely a good Lincoln's game.
So he said to me, Morph, can you just farm your mid player? And now my Earthshaker, he rage buybacks. And I mute my whole team.
But I think it's not bad what you did, because I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean it has, like, you're not communicating with them anymore, right? But at least they don't tilt you.
Yeah. So and I also think it was fine to rotate there. And now I actually buy 2 Observer Wards.
I think there are like 2 ways of playing when you're mid lane Morph. And it's very hard to know when you should do one thing or the other.
Yeah.
But sometimes you should help your team a little bit, and sometimes you should actually AFK farm.
Yeah.
And knowing when to do one or the other is the key to winning the game.
This is a really weird bug on Juggernaut. I guess one, the red spots. So
yeah, what the fuck is happening?
One thing to decide, do I want to AFK farm or do I want to help my team, would maybe be, do they have some cores who can own me later? So if I'm playing against the anti-mage, I really want, it doesn't matter if I get really farmed because anti-mage can still just own me. But if they have, let's say, a gyrocopter core and, a wind ranger core maybe, then it would be fine for me if I, prioritize my farm more than actually helping the team.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you don't do anything, like if you have no impact on the game until very late into it, your risk of your teammates have the game already lost.
Yeah.
Having lost the game already. So it's something to take into account.
It might actually be okay, and we haven't lost, but they might actually be so demoralized because they kept dying that they will actually stop playing.
Indeed.
So you have to also look at the human factor, how that
Yeah, indeed.
But in this right now, our Slark has just the first 16 minutes he has been completely AFK. And now he got his Miles Shadow bit, so that's kind of cool. And he's gonna join us in the fight now, and we're gonna take a really good fight. And this is basically where we turn the game around. And I'm pretty sure I decide to join there instead of taking the tier 1 tower. If they keep fighting.
By the way, you should use the Morph more frequently. Like right now, you could have taken the tower already if you had Morph most of that strength into agility.
Yeah. I need to get better on having more agility, and I think I do that. I think I do that later in the game, that I actually morph to more agility. But the good thing about pushing tower there is that Windringer came to defend it, and now we're gonna fight 4 against 5, which is basically the perfect scenario. I mess up a bit while waveforming too early. But this is really good because I'm basically
still going to get them.
Yeah, I'm basically baiting here, and now he's lured in here. And Windringer is still not joining us.
I think he could mana burn you now with the Necros.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it, or maybe it was on cooldown. I don't know. But the thing is now that you are out of mana. That's what I meant with the
Necro.
With Necros being extremely good against.
But it was still.
You couldn't do much in that fight because of the Necros.
Exactly. But still, our Slark he has gotten space for 15 minutes and got Midas a shell bait, so that's really good. And I would say that, I guess Beastmaster, I wouldn't say that he counters Morph, but he can be a problem. You need to be aware of him.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it's once again, it's the Necros you should worry about.
I think just generally Beastmaster is just too good of a hero at the moment that he will just, be a problem for pretty much everyone.
It's really useful. It's really useful.
If I see someone...
I used to...
Go ahead.
You go. Okay. So I used to play it mid back in Dota 1 a lot. And it was insane because he has like really good base damage to last hit and like overall stats and whatnot.
I think Beastmaster mid is still viable. Back in when OD was really strong, it ganked here, but fortunately I have a replicate, so that's nice. But back when OD was really strong last patch, I actually saw someone play Beastmaster mid against it, and that was actually pretty effective.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to play really well, because if he gets like a level 2 orb, does it one hit your boars?
Yeah, it might actually. I think the thing is that, I don't know, it's kind of hard now to say and we can't really go back, but at least I saw one game where he did well, so I'm just gonna keep it at that. Looking forward to later where our Slark really goes ham, and I think that might be the difference between you and me, that at least right now I'm really careful of not extending too hard or too much, and I think you are a bit more aggressive player when you feel that you are ahead, really pushing your advantage.
Yeah, and I I mean, what I was talking about last game is that if you check the way you kill the creeps, it's very slow. If you morph the strength into agility, you would be so much faster.
Yeah, but in there, I'm completely with you. That's something I'm gonna change about my morphling game. That I'm gonna get more agility. That's I agree with you there.
I don't know why you like the Slag when you replicate him. I don't know why you don't get the passive. It should work. I mean the move speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It stays at 350 speed, and when you actually replicate a hero like Ricky, you get the invisibility on it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work on Slag's illusion.
So that's one of the places where Slag just went totally YOLO, and diving a Beastmaster on the tier 2 tower, and it did get some pickups, but I think my whole team ends up dying here, or pretty much everybody. And what I was actually angry at Lion here because he was being chased, and me and Earthshaker were standing upwards, so we could just walk up, and Earthshaker could like do the perfect ultimate. But instead, Lion chooses to run to the right and just, isolate himself. So, but
I think there is something. I mean, in public games, the thing is like the downside about morphling is that people don't usually play around you.
Yeah.
And especially with a replicate, like it's so important to have a replicate at all times.
Yeah.
Like you can get, let's say, you can get another wave if you have a replicate. Like for example, when you were kind of pushing the top lane right now, you could have maybe gotten another creep wave if you have had a replicate.
Yeah.
But since you didn't, you have to back. You're forced to back.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna make a YouTube video because I have a clip where I had replicate ready and my teammate were really close to me, but he kept running away from me and I kept chasing him and I kept pinging him. I want to do a replicate. And after 20 seconds, I finally caught up with him because he just kind of stopped because he had to do something else, and that was hilarious. Like, I don't know. So I get ulted here. It's kind of a scary situation. My Linken's.
Yeah, and okay, you go.
Yeah, my Linken's it was off cooldown because Lich had nuked it. So fortunately, Lion saves me, but because I get ulted, I'm just completely useless right now. I can't do anything for the team.
Yeah. But if you actually, it's not really the ultimate what destroyed you.
Yeah,
it's the fact that he could burn all your mana.
Yeah, exactly. And also,
like if there is also like getting a BKB that could actually save you, but you're not really going to get it now. It wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah. There's actually been a few games where I have gotten BKB after Linken's. Do you ever get BKB?
Yeah, after Linken's second item.
Yeah, I think there's some games where you have to. Where you can't really do does BKB counter AA if you activate BKB and you get hit by ulti?
I mean, if you activate BKB, you get the debuff.
Yeah.
But you don't get the effect of it until it has worn out.
Okay, so
Does it make sense to you?
So you can you morph and get more strength while you're under AS ulti if you have BKB on?
No, you I mean, you can, but it's not a good idea.
Why not?
Because at the end of the day, the BKB will eventually stop, and then you will have like a lot of strength. I mean, it doesn't give you the way it works is it increases your strength, but you don't gain HP.
Yeah. Ah, okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's how it works. So it's not really a good idea.
At least one of the good things with playing against Beastmaster is that when he's about to do his raw, it takes so long time. So it's actually, when I had replicate there, it was pretty easy for me to dodge it. And you could see he was kind of raising his arm, trying to cast it, but I just had plenty of time. Not like playing against, say, Lion, and you don't have Linken's because he will just instant hex you. The same if you're Slark and you're playing as Beastmaster, that's also a good matchup since it can be a good matchup because it's really hard for him to initiate with Raw. You have to make a mistake for that to happen.
Yeah. Now that I look at it, I'm sure about the thing I said about AA.
Yeah.
I mean, without BKB, it works exactly like I said.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same if you have the BKB.
Yeah, I think you might
but
be.
We should still test that.
Yeah. I think if you play Morph and you play against Puck, especially if he gets a Veil, infused raindrops might be a very good idea. Have you tried the new item yet?
I haven't tried it yet, but how did it work once again?
Okay, so if Puck makes his illusory orb on you, it will normally deal.
It deals like less damage, right?
Yeah, so normally it will deal what 280 damage, and that will be like 220 damage or something. But then infused raindrop will block. I think it's 120, so it'll end up dealing like maybe 100 damage on you.
Okay, that can actually be.
I think that's. I'm not sure if it blocks before or after reduction, but it just makes it way harder for you to get nuked down. And how it works is you have 5 charges with 4 seconds cooldown, so you can take one spell and then 4 seconds you can take another. And here again we have one of the situations where Slag he comes out of top, and I'm always very scared when I see this. But I think that was actually fine. I took the tier 1 tower, and I thought we had kind of bad initiation. Slag, I think he actually dives both Jogger and Windrunner there, and I'm like holding my head. What are you doing? I'm so afraid of that. But it paid off, and now he's just he goes for Lich. I think maybe
he's actually going home. Yeah. What the fuck?
It's just really, and I was so scared for him. But it worked out in the end, and now he goes back, and yeah, he's a very aggressive player, and it paid off when he gets a triple kill. That's if he was like 7k, then I would probably be, well, he's just really good. Now when he's 5.9k, I think, or something like that, I'm kind of thinking that he's kind of playing
a little lucky.
Yeah, where sometimes
he gets a little lucky. I guess.
Sometimes it will pay off, and sometimes it will just die, like pretty much in unlucky situations. So my plan is to try to play, and also here he gets BKB off, and Slag is just, that's fine. I'm just gonna chase him, and he gets raw. But that was really nice reaction there, and actually we pretty much win the game right there. So that's I must say that's really good way for have brutal trials there, because if your teammates do stuff like that, you can actually help them. You can usually TP in and help them. If you had treads, then, and that's some of the games I've lost with Morph is because I have treads and I don't have replicate in the right place, and my teammates start to take a fight, and I just have no way to get to them.
Yeah, most of the times what you want to do is to send a replicate. I mean, to tell them to wait for your replicate, and then you go.
Yeah.
Or smoke the replicate instead of your hero. And that's really good.
When doing Roshan, you make a replicate like that, you have to be very careful you don't auto attack, so basically make it move instantly. And
the thing is, right now, without threats, your attack speed and damage is really, really low.
Yeah, I think.
So I think
I still have 200 damage. So.
Yeah, but your attack is so slow since you only have like the agility attack speed. You don't have any item that gives you anything. I think if you go troubles, which can be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I think you should focus more on farming.
Yeah.
I remember playing safe lane Morph and I go in and actually getting Midas and troubles. And when you do that, then you kind of want to get like 2 or 3 more items afterwards before you actually play.
I've tried Midas and Morph as well, and I'm not sure it's that great of a pick-off.
if you get it really fast, then it can
Yeah,
pay
sure.
off. But it's kind of, it's not that good since you don't really get anything from them, right? You can't morph anything due to Midas or so it's not that strong. It's just to farm. And the idea behind going something like Midas and Travels is to get like full items as soon as possible.
Do you ever use the scan ability?
Sorry, what?
Do you ever use the new scan ability?
Oh, the scan. I think I've used it like once or twice.
Okay.
But it's actually insane. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
But I always forget to use it. Like, I'm so not used to it. So I always forget to use it. But I think it's really, really insane.
I actually, in that fight, Beastmaster actually roared my Lion Illusion. So that was pretty nice. I had it close
Yeah, it's
to
very easy to confuse people.
And now when Slag...
Especially if you...
Go ahead.
You go.
When Slag has Aegis now, it's I'm fine with, YOLO plays. I think that's fine when you have Aegis. You can play very aggressively.
Yeah.
I think Aegis is probably perfect for a guy like that.
Also, when you make replicate of any of your teammates, and you actually have to play like if it was the real hero, right?
Yeah.
And
have to micro it a lot.
And sometimes they actually go for it.
They might, spend a raw, or they might spend like more on it, and that's also the morale of the enemy team just can really wither away if they do something very stupid on a replicate illusion. It can be pretty tough. It's gonna be fun seeing if I can get to 7k with Morphling. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, I have to do
I think if we get into the same game, I'm going to first pick it.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna pick
so
a...
you can't steal it from me.
I'll pick a... Oh, I'll probably pick Antimate.
No,
maybe.
Because I will actually ban the AA, so you cannot pick it.
Okay, I think I'll just ban Morphling. I'll just ban Morphling.
Oh.
Can you actually see?
Okay, let's...
Oh, here comes the flame.
Oh, he's so mad. He's so mad.
Yeah. And that was basically, when he said that, I was basically thinking, okay, I wanna show this guy replay to another guy and to see if it's actually like, if it was actually Did I like?
The thing is, he didn't really outlane you that badly or anything like that. So I don't know why he got so cocky, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had like won a matchup that he's not supposed to win and had completely outlaned you, then it's still not okay, but like at least it would make sense.
Yeah, I think it's maybe because Earthshaker has been flaming me a lot. Maybe in all chat probably, like saying morph no bottle or something. That might be it. But yeah, thanks for doing this with me. Was
you're welcome.
Was it fun to take a look at 2 Morphin replays? I think I'm gonna take something to eat. I'll put up the first one, your replay, tomorrow, I think, and then probably the day after that I'll do the other one. But thanks a lot for doing this, and good luck in your games.
Alright, thank you, see ya.
See you.